The One Piece world is in shambles right now. Kid is at the bottom of the ocean. Law is MIA. Loki is on the verge of getting freed. It's so much crazy stuff going on at the moment. But the storyline I want to focus on today is the Blackbeard pirate Starkey and Marie's War, and mostly Emu. I would love to address what I think Emu's next plans will be. As of right now, Emu's plans have been exposed by Vegapunk. We know Emu is intentionally sinking the world and repeating what happened 800 years ago. We've learned that there are entire islands in the depths of the ocean. Emu most likely is using the ancient weapon Uranus to cause this. We saw what Uranus did to Lelucia. It erased them clean off the map like your teacher erasing the whiteboard. Uranus is surely the weapon Emu will use to bring in a new era. After Uranus was used, Vegapunk's message explained that the world would then begin to flood. The world is slowly flooding and people are questioning why. Certain individuals are starting to question if Vegapunk's words were actually true, whether it be the Marines, the Celestial Dragons, or even pirates. It is causing a lot of tension. We even see a Marine member address Saturn only for him to get sent to the Shadow Realm. At the end of the day, Emu is not worried about anyone uncovering the truth because they will eventually be wiped out by the world flood. But there is one particular pirate group that could disrupt Emu's plans. It is not Law, it is definitely not Kid, it is not Dragon, and it's not Luffy. Yet. The pirate group that I think will disrupt Emu's plan is none other than the Blackbeard pirates. We saw one of Blackbeard's Titanic captains lurking around Marie's War in the Red Line. We don't quite know why Lafayette's there, but we know he had his eyes on Marie's War and he's reporting back to Blackbeard. But if I had to make a theory, I believe the Blackbeard pirates would go after Uranus. Blackbeard says he wants to be the king of the world. You can't be the king of the world without a world-conquering weapon. No one seems to know where the ancient weapons are being housed. But if there is one person to know about it, it would definitely be Blackbeard. Saturn told Van Augur and Katarina Devon that Blackbeard was special. So maybe Blackbeard could be similar to Bunny. Maybe Blackbeard was housed at a marine facility where he saw a lot of extra things as well. This would include technology and weapons. If the Blackbeard pirates are truly going to infiltrate the world government, they will need a good team. If I had to pick a roster, I would go with these three: Lafayette, Katarina Devon, and Van Augur. Now there is a reason I specifically said these three. Lafayette is a master stealthman. He easily snuck into Marine headquarters when declaring Blackbeard would like to join the warlords. He also is sneakily around Marie's War without being seen. Now I would add Katarina Devon to the team simply because she can turn into others. This would definitely come in handy. Also, if Saturn's information is still in the system, she can easily morph into Saturn and get past the system much easier. Now obviously Van Augur is a no-brainer. He literally has the warp fruit. If you don't take a guy that can literally warp in and out of places, it is something wrong with you. So Van Augur is an easy pick. Once they infiltrate the facility, they find Uranus, they could easily warp out in an instant. So yeah, this would definitely be my three if I was looking to infiltrate Marie's War or a Navy facility looking for Uranus. Now let's just say they do pull this off and they do steal Uranus. Emu would definitely be enraged. How could Emu ever hope to sink the world if they don't have an ancient weapon like Uranus? As far as we know, Uranus is the only ancient weapon in their possession. So without Uranus, there is no world flood going to happen. Hold up, I'm about to say a crazy theory, but just hang in there with me. I know it might sound crazy, but do not turn the video off. Please just hear me out, please. With Emu left with no ancient weapon, I believe Emu will turn to Akainu. But before I get to that, I must explain why Emu will turn to Akainu. After the Egghead incident, Saturn said the world government would not get involved with Elbaf. Well, as we've seen in the past, Navy personnel hardly takes orders from anyone, including the Gorosei. Akainu literally walked into Gorosei's office and started talking crazy. So, with that being said, I believe Akainu would be the one to go to Elbaf. This only makes sense. We've seen every admiral in action this time skip besides Akainu. The only action we've seen him do is to a mindless Kuma wandering around trying to get back to Bunny. We have not seen him get into a real altercation yet. We've seen Kizaru fight Luffy. We've seen Green Bull fight the Scabbards, King and Queen. And we've seen Fujitora fight the Revolutionary Army with Green Bull. So, that only leaves Akainu. We got to see Akainu step in the field and get active at some point. And I believe Elbaf will be that arc. Now, my reason for saying this is quite simple. I believe Akainu will go to Elbaf simply because he failed his mission a long time ago. And by failed his mission, I mean he failed his mission in Ohara. During the Ohara incident, remember where Akainu destroyed a refugee ship? But Akainu said even if one person escapes with knowledge of the Void Century, that's one too many. So Akainu chose to blow up the innocent ship, killing kids, women, and men. Now, if that truly was his plan to not let anyone escape, we all know Robin survived and Soul survived. Soul wasn't a resident of O'Hara, but Soul witnessed the mass destruction that the world government brought upon innocent people. Also, Robin can clearly read forbidden text from the Void Century, so of course she has to go. So with Saul and Robin still alive, that means Akainu has no choice but to strap up and hop back in the field. Akainu will arrive to Elbaf to end Saul and Robin. As we know, Saul has currently passed out. He has been hidden with a life alert. He's fallen and he can't get up. I kid you not, those were literally the words I read when reading the chapter. Saul has fallen and he can't get up. If you look at life alert, their slogan is I have fallen and I can't get up. Akainu will look to finish off an injured Saul and a pretty Robin, but only to be met with a Gear 5 demon. Akainu hasn't seen Luffy face to face since Marineford. Akainu is definitely going to pull up one of the squabbles, but Gear 5 Luffy is going to give him the beat straight up hand, feet, elbows, and knees. There's no way an old man sitting in the office for 2 years is going to squabble with Nika. Luffy is going to beat Akainu so bad he's going to have no choice but to retreat. Now here's where Imu comes back into play. Once Luffy beats Akainu, the way Akainu acts, he's not going to let that slide. I believe Akainu will seek to find more power, but from where? He's already eaten the devil fruit, and he's probably washed up. Now once again, this is where I think Imu will come into play. I believe Imu will summon Akainu to the empty throne room. Now many of you may be saying, why would Imu reveal himself? Well, check this out. When Vegapunk's message was getting broadcasted, many Marines were looking in shock, but not Akainu. Akainu actually was in fact getting mad at Vegapunk, saying he was talking too much. So if I use my context clues, I would assume Akainu knows somewhat about the Void Century. And if you know about the Void Century, then you might know about Imu, but that's just my guess. Don't get mad at me. So once again, I believe Imu will summon Akainu into the Void Room, offering Akainu the power that he is clearly looking for. Now, I don't think Imu will offer Akainu any magic circle power that the Gorosei share. I believe Imu will offer him something much more powerful. I believe it will be the Mother Flame. Now, hear me out. I know y'all are crying. Hear me out. Stop whining. Stop whining. Hear me out. Akainu has the Magma Fruit. The Magma Fruit was hotter than Ace's Fruit, and I think Oda may have said it's the best offensive fruit in the show. I'm not sure. But with Imu offering Akainu the Mother Flame, I believe Akainu will consume it. That's right, I believe Akainu will consume it, not Luffy. I know there's tons of theories saying Luffy will eat the Mother Flame, but I think Akainu will actually be the one to eat it. After getting the beats from Luffy, Akainu will now have his new power. But there's a reason I say Imu will offer this to Akainu. Remember at the beginning of the video where I said the Blackbeard pirates will steal Uranus from Imu in the world government? Well, what is Imu using Uranus for? Imu is using Uranus to flood the world, causing it to sink. Surtur is a fire giant that too caused the world to sink. He set the world ablaze, bringing in a new era. Imu is using the ancient weapon to flood the world, powered by the Mother Flame. If Akainu consumes the Mother Flame, I would think his Logia could evolve into maybe a Zoan-like fruit. Now, I'm not saying he will become a Zoan, but something maybe similar to NL. During the Skypiea arc, we know NL evolved into a mythical Zoan-like being. He even had a divine cloud similar to Luffy, Yamato, and other Zoans. Akainu will be similar to Surtur from Norse mythology. So if Akainu eats the Mother Flame and is able to evolve his magma power into something much more, maybe he could be the new ancient weapon, replacing Uranus. I actually think this is a pretty solid theory because we know Akainu really hates pirates, and I believe no matter how evil Imu is, Akainu will still side with anyone over a pirate. If Akainu were to get his godly power up, he could definitely rival Luffy in the future. In Norse mythology, it was said that Surtur's flames shine brighter than the sun. Well, Luffy is the sun god, and if Akainu's flames burn or shine brighter than the sun god, that would put him on par with Gear 5 Luffy. So at the end of the day, it's a win-win situation. Imu gets a new ancient weapon, which is Akainu, and Akainu gets new power to rival Luffy and stop more pirates. Let me know what you guys think about this theory in the comments.